Old Black Witch.
Look, she has a spoon on her hat.
That's a hat pin. That holds her hat on.
O-L-D.
Old Black Witch. Okay. Okay, we're to the page where there's somebody in a car. Nicky and his mother had made a long trip to New England. That's where you used to live, New England. They didn't have much money and they wanted to buy an old house to turn into a tea room. Do you know what a tea room would be? A place to go drink tea, maybe? Yeah.
And to have tea parties.
Yeah. Nicky's mother had in mind a special kind of house for the tea room. She thought it should be old and warm and cozy. They looked and looked for such a house, and at last they found a man who said he had just the right house for a tea room. He said it was old and warm and cozy. He really thought it was old and broken down and dreadful. So he didn't tell them the truth, did he? But Nicky and his mother were too tired to even think, and so they bought the house. When all the papers were signed, they went to the house, and Nicky's mother opened the squeaky old door with a rusty key. The sun had gone down, and the house was dark and chilly, and Nicky began to build a fire in the big fireplace. The fire did not start very easily, and puffs of smoke soon filled the room. Suddenly, squawk, thump, and down from the chimney fell a big black mess. It was covered with cobwebs and made terrible sounds. It stumbled out of the fireplace and into the room. From its long, pointed hat to its long, pointed shoes, it was covered with ashes. It was a fright. It was furious. It was an old black witch. Old Black Witch glared into Nicky's face. Do you know what glaring is? That is to give an angry look like this. Okay?
Like,
yes, an angry look. Who told you to build a fire in my fireplace? She shouted, stamping around and shaking her broom. Jumpin' Jehoshaphat, you've scorched my blasted broomstick. Whoop, she's talking hot talk, isn't she? This is our fireplace and our house because we bought it, Nicky said politely. And what are you doing in our chimney?
Good thing we weren't in a hurry.
Yeah.
Did he use his head fluffed over again?
Ethan has a stinky diaper, and he's complaining about it. No, I don't.
Take him over here to the corner of this parking lot.
Just a minute.
put some clothes in on the side of his head.
Open the doorway. Open that.
Which one's Ethan?
This one is a cinnamon raisin. The other one's a veggie. It's not a sugar.
It's a huge thing. You would never be able to eat it all yourself, girl. There's a piece. And I'll give you more and more. Yeah, that's a piece for Ethan. Here comes one for you. There you go. There's one for you.
Hot.
It's warm, but it's not too hot. Wait a minute. There you go. Now, which one do you need?
Good thing we have these pants on.
Why?
Just cut.
They open.
Guess what? No stinky bone.
Why do you keep saying that?
He has to go.
Oh.
He can't go when he's sitting in his chair.
I see. Lucky us.
Not stinker.
Yay!
when I was pregnant and I had to do this. My back would just ache by the time I got done.
Oh,
I'd stand up. Oh my gosh, it hurts so bad. I'd say to Matt, you don't get it. It hurts. My back hurts. Just doing it. Just standing like this.
Okay, bud. Back in your seat. The lack of a nap is starting to catch up with him, huh?
I'm worried that we're not going to do haircut.
You want your haircut done?
Let's go do your hair.
Ow!
Did you get a conk? Should we go get your hair cut?
Right now. Haircut.
It's time. Oh, we had grand ideas, didn't we?
Yes.
A vegetable?
A vegetable with a veggie. You see, they're out of a lot of bagels.
They're what?
They were out of a lot of bagels. I think they must be closing.
Want half of this?
Is his head okay, Monkey? Yeah.
What do you want? I mean, I'll let you get it out.
I don't know.
May I have half?
Yes. Oh, it smells fresh. Ethan, did you eat your bagel? Did your
You have another half of it.
Oh, honestly.
Really like to make this light. Nope. But that's so close to 7-Eleven.
I can't even see it.
See that?
Oh, yeah.
Where's the box this time? Look, there's the box, Mom. Over there.
Oh, yep. For the light? Yep.
For all of this light. And there's another one somewhere. Over there. And another one somewhere. Come there.
All I can say is I hope not.
Lemon.
Job changes sooner than later. I hope that he's coming home at night. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Fire. Fire. Fire.
Won't need him in the morning.
Yeah.
Fire. Fire. Beagle. Fire. Beagle.
A batter bagel, yeah.
Although the kids and I have gotten used to
Good.
doing our own thing.
Fire.
Huh?
Fire. A fire.
The kids and I have gotten used to doing our own thing at night.
Mm-hmm.
Beagle.
Yep. That was one of the hardest things about having Ed come home was Connie and I had our own little rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't want anybody else around. We knew how it went. You know, the car makes enough noise that it would just be too noisy.
Wait.
We'll wait.
You awake, Ethan? Look at cars
Yes.
on a truck.
That must be a really great big truck and really strong tires to carry all those cars on the car. It's a big truck. Big truck. Big truck.
A great big truck.
Oh, there's not parking place.
Great big truck. There's a little garden.
Hold it up.
Huh? We can start doing our book.
Yep. We will.
So Ethan's gone. Ethan's gonna be gone. Yeah, we're gonna be the only ones here. And Colby.
Your bagel, that's fine.
All right then.
They're good, aren't they?
These kind of really good. Do you remember which page we're on?
I'll find it.
He's about to tackle the boys.
Go to it, boys. Okay, just one sec. Then she realized that they were stealing from her. After all, her blueberry pancakes had made the money in the sugar bowl. Sudden fury made her hop up and down. Do you know what fury is? That's a real madness. She got very, very mad, and she hopped up and down and she banged the floor with her broom. The greedy thieves were startled and frightened until they saw that Old Black Witch was really quite tiny. They picked her up, and she was sputtering and kicking, and they stuffed her in an almost empty flour barrel. Then they went back to their stealing. However, the two thieves did not see the lid of the barrel come up. They did not hear Old Black Witch whisper 3 magic words. They did not see her eyes cross twice and a sudden puff of smoke. But the thieves suddenly disappeared. Where they had been, 2 green and brown toads blinked at each other in the moonlight. Oh, she wanted toads, didn't she? I guess she made herself some out of bad guys. In a twinkling, Old Black Witch scooped them up in her apron and popped them into a wooden cage. From then on, Old Black Witch had 2 strange spotted toads in her room. Things went along very well for everyone after that. Old Black Witch helped quite often in the tea room. She demanded days off in which to be nasty, which means just plain mean. But then most witches would want to be mean a little bit. Nikki's mother no longer looked tired. Nikki grew rosy in the country air, and Old Black Witch often told stories to Nikki about the bad old days. "But I know you are really a good witch," he said, looking at her fondly. Fondly means, oh, that he liked her very much. Then Old Black Witch would look out the window and crack her knuckles and wink at the dusty crow that lived in the mulberry tree.
She didn't like the crow anymore.
Oh, yeah, I think she still liked him. Bats, she would say. Bats, crickets, snakes, knees. Which meant she really liked Nikki too, but she had to act cross. Bats, she would say. Bats, crickets, and snakes' knees. Snakes' knees? Where would a knee of a snake be?
Where would a snake sneeze?
Snake knees, like this. Where would a snake's knee be? Now there's a puzzle for you. Huh? There's a puzzle for you. First, there we go.